So we've just heard news of Turkey bombing villages in northern Iraq. Turkey's behavior has been absolutely shocking. And I think now, because the world's attention is directed towards Ukraine, Turkey believes it can do whatever it likes. It's always, in fact, had the backing of NATO as a NATO ally, and therefore has done these things with impunity. It is out to get the Kurds, and it really needs to be stopped. The world needs to come together and call for an end to Turkey's aggression on its neighbors. I just feel it's shocking that with Ukraine and with the world's attention turned on Ukraine, Turkey suddenly has emerged as a peacemaker, has emerged as the good guys, as it were, in this war, and it's the world is ignoring what is going on with Kurdistan, with these areas that we have just mentioned.
I want to condemn the invasion of the Kurdish region in Iraq by Turkey, and I think we should call it an invasion. The whole world is condemning Russia for its invasion of Ukraine, and yet here we have a NATO power, a power that we are in an alliance with in the UK, invading and bombing villages in the Kurdish region of Iraq, jet pilots bombing villages in the Kurdish region. This is utterly condemnable. I will be calling on the UK government and other Western governments to condemn this atrocity by a NATO power in Turkey. It must end, and it must end now.
And I'm talking to you today to express my revulsion and shame and anger at Turkey now latest bombardments against the PKK in the villages around it in northern Iraq. These are war crimes and must be condemned by the international community, by the UN, and by NATO, who should consider expelling Turkey from the bloc. A plea to the international community, to everybody, to use through their own governments condemnation of Turkey, to actually ensure that Erdogan is prosecuted at the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity, for genocide and war crimes.
Thank you. I will let you know definitely for the next, in the future, definitely we will do some interviews again about the
Turkish state propaganda continues to claim to be targeting terrorism, as always. But in reality, I think that these attacks do continue to constitute a campaign of state terror by Turkey. It involves indiscriminate use of violence, which is a breach of international law. And we see this again and again. Turkey again and again wages violent campaigns, both inside and outside of the Turkish borders. We really need to strengthen calls for governments around the world to look at the evidence, look at what's going on, call out against it, call on one another to delist the Kurdistan Workers' Party, and support calls for the freedom of Abdullah Öcalan, and work to end Turkey's crimes against humanity.